Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Let's get to the news. All right, Browns fans, today we're diving deep into the latest developments in Cleveland's quarterback situation. And trust me, this is something that could reshape the team's future. The Browns just got their second win of the season, a much-needed bounce back. But the story behind this victory is more complex than just the final score. You see, against the Miami Dolphins, Cleveland decided to lean heavily on the run game. And who do they rely on for that? Nick Chubb, of course, and Jerome Ford, who has been impressive when healthy, but this game was an interesting test for the rookie quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel, as many of you know, has been thrust into a tough spot. His first 3 NFL starts haven't exactly been fireworks, and under the conditions of that game, with strong winds and rain, it was understandable that Kevin Stefanski wanted to keep things simple. Rely on the ground, keep the ball out of harm's way, and minimize mistakes. But even with that, some fans and analysts are starting to question if Gabriel is the long-term answer at quarterback for this franchise. His performance has shown flashes, but consistency remains a concern, and the Browns are in a bit of a tricky spot right now. You see, Cleveland's management and coaching staff are aware that they might not have that franchise quarterback on their current roster. And that's where things get even more interesting. Because, despite Gabriel's struggles, the team has a very promising rookie, Shedeur Sanders, who has been making waves. Sanders, the 5th-round pick, has been gaining a lot of buzz throughout the league, and a lot of insiders believe he could get an opportunity to show what he's capable of sooner rather than later. Recently, analyst Tony Rizzo revealed some intriguing insights. He's heard from 2 different sources that the Browns will play Shedeur Sanders this season. Now, this isn't just idle speculation. It's coming from credible sources close to the team, and it's something that fans should definitely keep an eye on. So when do you think Sanders should get his shot? That's the big question. Should it be sooner, especially if Gabriel continues to struggle or plays too conservatively? Or should the team wait until there's a clear need to make a change? Well, it's important to understand the context here. The Browns are unlikely to make the playoffs this year, at least based on their current trajectory. Their chances hinge largely on Gabriel elevating his play, on him starting to show that he can be more aggressive and confident in the pocket. If Gabriel begins playing at a high level, if he can ignite this offense and show some of the promise that made him a top prospect, then maybe Sanders' debut gets pushed further down the line. But if the struggles persist, if the offense continues to look too cautious, then Cleveland might have no choice but to consider giving Sanders a shot to see if he can bring something different to the table. And here's where it gets even more nuanced. It seems like Kevin Stefanski wants to keep Gabriel as the starter for now. After all, he's the veteran in this situation, and the team probably feels he's the safest option in the short term. But the ownership and general manager might have a different perspective. There's a growing belief that Sanders, with his talent and upside, could be the future of the franchise, especially with the Browns holding 2 first-round picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a big asset, and it indicates that the team is already thinking about their long-term plans. They need to evaluate what they have in Gabriel and Sanders before making any decisions about drafting another quarterback or investing heavily in a different direction. Now, let's talk about Gabriel for a moment. The young quarterback has shown flashes of potential, but consistency has been elusive. His stats might not jump off the page. His completion percentage, yards per attempt, and touchdown-to-interception ratio all tell part of the story. Meanwhile, the Browns' offense has been somewhat conservative, which doesn't always play to Gabriel's strengths. He's capable of making big plays, but the coaching staff has been cautious, perhaps to protect him and the team from costly mistakes. But that cautious approach might also be limiting their offensive output, especially when they're trying to stay competitive in a tough AFC North. And speaking of the AFC North, it's worth noting that this division is as competitive as ever. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are all formidable opponents, and the Browns need to be at their best if they want to contend. That's why the quarterback position is so critical right now. Cleveland needs to find stability, either in Gabriel or Sanders, because without a reliable leader under center, it's difficult to sustain success over the long haul. The team's draft strategy for 2026 is also something to keep in mind. With 2 first-round picks, the Browns have the flexibility to select a potential franchise quarterback if they decide that neither Gabriel nor Sanders fits the bill long-term. But before they go down that route, they need to assess what they have now, which makes Sanders' future involvement so important. If he impresses in practice and gets his chance, it could be a pivotal moment for the franchise. Now, let's not forget that the Browns have a rich history of patience and perseverance. They've gone through coaching changes, quarterback controversies, and rebuilds over the years, always aiming to find that spark, that franchise player who can elevate the team to new heights. Right now, the quarterback question is very much at the forefront. Will Gabriel turn things around and become that guy? Or will Sanders' talent force the team's hand? That's the drama, that's the uncertainty that keeps Browns fans on the edge of their seats. And it's not just about this season. It's about setting the foundation for the future. Cleveland's ownership has been vocal about wanting to build a winning culture, and that often starts at the most critical position on the field. The coaching staff, led by Stefanski, wants to see growth from Gabriel, but they're also watching Sanders closely. They know that a young quarterback's development can be unpredictable, and that sometimes a change at the right moment can make all the difference. Meanwhile, the fans are divided. Some believe Gabriel deserves more time, especially given the circumstances of the recent game, while others see Sanders as the future and are eager to see him start sooner rather than later. This debate is ongoing, and it will only intensify as the season progresses. Cleveland needs to make a decision, and fast. The pressure is mounting, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As we look ahead, it's clear that the Browns have a lot to consider. Their current roster, their draft assets, and the development of these 2 young quarterbacks will shape their trajectory for years to come. Whether Gabriel will step up and prove he's the guy or Sanders will get his chance to shine remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure. The story isn't over yet, and Browns fans should stay tuned because the next chapter might be the most exciting one yet. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Gabriel can turn things around and become the franchise quarterback? Or do you believe Sanders should be given the shot sooner? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and we're here to bring you all the latest, inside information and expert analysis. Thanks for being with us, and let's keep that Browns passion alive.